We have been unmuted. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, everyone. It's been a while.
Yep, it's been a few months.
Okay, you're going to have to speak up or get closer to the microphone or something. You want me to push the camera back a bit?
Do you think people can hear you? Have the microphone up?
Yeah, okay. But, you know. Okay, but don't talk. You got to talk louder than you are.
Can you make the us a little bit smaller? There, so that we can see the
water.
The nice photo that you took.
Yeah, let's do this.
Earlier this week. Yeah, it's really pretty.
Thanks.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I took this. I was riding home from my swim in the pool, which is near the ocean, near the water, about a block away, and I went down to the highway where just across the street from this scene, and I took this photo in the morning. And so we're facing south, so the sun's coming from the east on the left there. And anyway,
let's see if the volume is okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay. Well, you got to turn it up.
I suppose I have to talk. Do I really have to?
just talk.
Okay, yeah.
Just talk.
I'm actually coming in just fine.
Okay.
So this microphone is really sensitive.
I know it is. And so, yeah, okay.
It's been quite a few months since we have gone live.
I know, and I haven't used this microphone in a long time. So,
yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. This is our cool Samson satellite. Okay, anyway, how are you doing, Julie? It's been a while since we've talked.
We're doing well.
Okay. Well, we did do an audio at the table last week.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just going to share this link over to.
So what have I been up to? What has JP been up to? Not a lot.
Actually, you should talk about your gardening.
I was just going to do that.
And I want to talk about the effects of gardening because we have a friend here who is exuberant. She's thrilled over her gardening project.
Okay.
Chelsea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I'd like to talk about your opinion about how people who garden, and we have a really good friend in Vermont who gardens for a living. This is how she earns her income, right? She's a professional gardener. She has her own business.
Yeah.
So I'd like to talk about how people who work with the earth on a regular basis have sort of a different outlook, a different philosophy in life. And I think Chelsea is a good example too.
Yeah.
And you as well.
Yeah. So, so I've started a big project. And it's really big. And I feel like my glasses are kind of cockeyed here. So sorry.
You look good.
Okay. Thank you. It is a space out in front of our house that's between our yard and the street. So there's our yard and then the sidewalk and then this patch and then the street. And the city owns it, but we're required to keep it up. And there's just kind of scrubby grass out there. It's just kind of barren looking. So we both, like right from the beginning, wanted to do something nice with it, you know. And it's been, well, we bought the place 3 years ago. So
yeah, this November will be 3 years since we officially moved in.
Yeah.
And then actually it was in March that we closed 3 years ago.
So
in March.
We were here 3 years ago when we first started fixing up the house. And that's a whole other story. But anyway, I've had a couple seasons to watch what goes on, where the sun falls, all that kind of thing. And I've started this project, and it is on the street, as I mentioned. It's not a very busy street, but it's busy enough. And it's right in line with the scene that you see, although not exactly. This is not our street. This is another street.
Oh, you mean the scene?
The scene that you can see from what we see when we get out to the highway where the beach is. You see a beautiful lighthouse, and and a park, and so it's really nice. But anyway,
the lighthouse is kind of our landmark, right? When people are like, "Where did you buy in Biloxi?" we say just up the street from the lighthouse.
Right, exactly. So the wind comes directly up our street from the not the Bay. It's the Gulf of
It's
Mexico.
the Sound.
Yeah, the Mississippi Sound.
And the Gulf of Mexico.
And then the Gulf of Mexico.
Unless you're a Trump fan and it's the Gulf of America, but
you know, everyone else in the world calls it the Gulf of Mexico. So we're gonna go with that. Anyway, so it tends to be windy, and it's harsh, lots of sunlight, so it can be very, and then the quality of the soil is terrible. It's just sand. It's sandy, kind of, there's a little bit there. I mean, grass is able to survive, and the live oak trees get nourishment from this same soil. So, it's not poison, but it's not something that you can just put any old plant and plop it down in there and expect it to grow. So what I did was some research. Turns out all the things that I love from a Mediterranean garden thrive out there. So lavender, sage, different sages. So the salvias, right? Rosemary thrives out there, and oregano. Mm-hmm. And then I also put down German thyme because it's the most hearty of the times. Because we get really hot weather, and it can get down into the 30s sometimes, and we even got snow a while ago. I've also put down.
Yeah, we got snow.
Yeah, like 2 years ago or a year ago.
That's when everything kind of went inverted for me. I just was like,
that was weird, right?
I felt like it was a signal that everything in my life was about ready to go upside down. And guess what? It did.
I know.
So,
damn you, year of the snake. Anyway.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, and then I also put down found a couple, what were they? Yarrow plants.
Oh, yeah, looking forward to that.
And they only had a couple at the store, so I only got a couple. So.
And our neighbors just gave us some tomato starts.
Right.
And you were like, where am I going to put them? And I'm like, we have to be nice neighbors.
Well, I'll talk about
I want a free jar of salsa.
Right. Well,
they make salsa.
And I want to talk about their garden too, because they're just up the street.
Oh my God. Yeah. They're just phenomenal. They have a business, and it requires, fresh produce that's made, or that's grown right out of their yard.
Yeah,
we've seen her setup in the kitchen. It's insane. Like, she's doing really well.
Yeah, and here's something that's really interesting about Mississippi is it allows for cottage industries, meaning truly cottage industries, where you can make something in your home kitchen and sell it at the farmer's market, or you can sell it.
It doesn't have to be like some sort of food and agriculture approved type
which is what was going on in San Francisco, because I looked into that, because I had a huge yard, and I had a neighbor's yard. This is my neighbor next door to me at one house before I knew Julie. I was living in this house, and I had a big yard but not a lot of sun. But she had the same type of yard that I did, except it was all exposed. There were no trees. And if the laws had been different in San Francisco, I could have set up a complete little farm out there and sold that produce at farmers markets, and or supplied my neighborhood with fresh produce. Right.
I mean, this is how we get our eggs.
Well, right. So the cottage industry in Mississippi allows us to go. You tell the story. I mean, we've been looking around for eggs for a while.
Oh, right. So we were buying a brand, a high-end organic brand of eggs. And it was like, I don't know, it was getting to be like $12, $13 a dozen for this really on-brand organic. And I believed the hype. Like, it got to the point where you could actually log into a little camera, and you could see your chickens that laid your eggs in your vicinity of the eggs that you bought at the grocery store. And somebody did a sort of like a tell-all about this company, and it turns out that they're not exactly what they claim.
Lots of greenwashing,
and they were bought out by some.
Well, they were invested in by Amazon and some other big names, and
there's way too many people out here that have chickens. It's not like we live in some back country. we live in a pretty sophisticated
Well, we're in a small town.
area of
Yeah.
the world, believe it or not. There's like French cuisine, and New Orleans is an hour from us. So we're, but there's enough people around here that have their own chickens. And I was like, why am I spending $13 for a dozen eggs?
Mm-hmm.
And Chelsea sells them to us for $10 for 2 dozen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
And
pretty good. And we actually get to hang out with the chickens.
We do get to hang out with the chickens,
and they are very clucky.
They are very clucky.
and the roosters. I guess it's the roosters that crow.
Mm-hmm.
They're very loud.
They are very loud.
And we love going over there.
So getting back to the garden then, and I'll bring it back to Chelsea.
Sure.
So that garden is up front. The project that I'm working on now is very, there's lots of sun. And the yarrows actually do well in that sandy soil too. That says he can even deal with salty sand, like ocean. So happy about that. Going to put down some California golden poppies and another California native called it's called the Douglas iris, which is a beautiful, look it up. It's a beautiful Northern California flower. Anyway, so do that. But right now, I just set down the sort of what I'm calling sort of the anchor or the basic structure plants, foundational plants. That's what I'm calling them. And I'm trying to make it look sort of like it's, kind of random and natural looking.
The way Californians do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I know. I'll never forget when a former boyfriend's mother came to visit us. We were living in San Francisco. They came from the Midwest, and we were walking around your woods. And she's like, "How come there's no plaques? How come I can't read what these trees are?" I'm like, "Because we're in the woods. I don't know.
Redwoods,
That's not how Californians do things."
Well, there is the arboretum in Golden Gate Park, which
that you can do that.
But this was labels, but yeah.
The reason I brought up Chelsea and the eggs is because you were talking about cottage industry. And
so the garden right. So we could potentially, grow, lavenders and sell them at, dried lavenders or fresh lavender flowers at the farmer's market or whatever, right? If we had enough.
Totally.
And anyway, so then, eventually we'll get into doing other parts of the yard. We obviously, or not obviously, well, we've said this before, we live under a lot of live oak trees, so there's lots of shade. So we'll be dealing with, different types of flowers. I'm not going to try to grow food here. It's impossible.
No.
So I got the tomato starts from the neighbor. I'm going to have to put them in pots and find a
Figure
place,
out.
somewhere
Maybe
for them
somewhere in the back area where it's really sunny.
I think I have a good idea where
we
to
have
put
a
them.
lot of land to. I make it sound like we have land. We're on a corner lot, so we have a big lot.
Yeah.
And whereas before in Pittsburgh, and even in San Francisco, you had like a little patio garden behind the Noir apartment that we lived in
after the big yard that I had.
Right. After the big yard.
Yeah,
so then you moved to San Francisco, the apartment that we shared, and it was really tiny. And then we moved to Pittsburgh, and it was like, we used to joke that you would go out into the back 40 feet.
Yeah.
So we took our parking pad and converted it into, or you did, converted it into a sustainable garden where you did like boxes. We had squash and cucumbers and tomatoes and beans. We had
potatoes.
Yeah, it was plentiful. So we can't really do that here because of all of the shade from the 8 live oaks that we live under.
Those 8 live oaks are giving us shade, Julie.
They are giving us some shade.
And it's good because it's nice in the hot days. So anyway, so transitioning over to the woman who sells us eggs. So she is, selling her eggs. And she in her backyard, she's been showing me all her planting, and she didn't know that I was a gardener and that I knew anything about gardening at all. But she just started showing us her backyard and what she's been planting. And then, me being me, I just kind of make a comment and tell her what she needs to do to, help that plant or where to grow that other plant.
Or move the fig tree.
So she had a fig tree planted near her fence, and it was like inches from a fence, not feet from a fence, inches from a fence, and then inches from a sidewalk. And I said, without even skipping a beat, I saw it there, and we were walking through, and I said, you're going to have to move that fig tree.
She's like, yes, Dad.
She's like, yeah, somebody else told me that. And I said, you're going to have to do that soon.
Like now.
Like, yeah, before it really sets up roots, because she had just planted it. And it was so vibrant. It already had a little figlet on it.
I know. Be careful with that.
What does that mean?
Just kidding. Just kidding.
That sounds, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
it did. It had a little tiny fig on it.
Yeah, it was cool. So
yeah, I can't wait.
I know. We'll
Love
see. Now
figs.
She's going to have another little cottage industry. She can start selling figs. Cool thing, fun fact. I don't like that term, but interesting fact. Biloxi used to be a huge resource or source for figs in the United States. People would grow them in their backyards, the fig trees. No, giant figs would grow in their backyard. No, they had people would have fig trees in their backyards all over the city, and the canning plants that were here in town that would can the oysters, because we're also abundant in oysters here. When they weren't doing oysters at certain times of the year, they would can the figs, which is about summertime, right? And so they'd collect all these figs from all the neighbors around the city, of course, and pay them for them, of course. So you had another small cottage industry going there. But like these things would get shipped to Chicago and New York and different parts of the city, and they were canned. They weren't fresh. But still, that's kind of amazing that, a resource of somebody's fruit tree in their backyard turned into table food, right? And so that's a really wonderful thing. And we're finding that again, right, through our friend who sells her eggs and soon to be selling her figs, I hope. The farmer's market here in town, the one woman who shows up, she sells this wonderful grapefruit that comes from her backyard. Yeah.
So we really enjoy living here. It's, it's not quite the Mediterranean climate that we're used to. But it's close enough.
Yeah. It's similar, but it has some differences. And today we had a torrential rain that lasted for about 2 hours. And
it woke up to thunder and lightning.
Yeah. So we do get those kind of tropical storms coming through.
Pretty
or
intense.
Subtropical storms or whatever. Now, our other neighbor, speaking of cottage industries, who lives up the street, who gave me the tomato starts, she makes, like Julie said, she makes her own salsas and sauces and things. And they have basically taken their side yard and put out like covering, like plastic covering, and then set out uniform containers.
Pots.
Yeah.
Remember I told you when we went to the store and we were trying to find those exact pots for our plan, for our gardening plan? And I was like, why can't, there's only like 2 here. Usually they have like hundreds.
Right.
And next thing you know, we see that
they had done the same
thing. They
thing.
basically bought out the store. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
That's why we couldn't find any.
So yeah, exactly. So they've got, I don't know how many are out there, maybe 50.
Yeah, at least. And they have more than that.
Yeah, so they have some in other parts of their yard as well. She showed me some of the stuff they're doing. So then they had this one container. They're also using steel, what are they called?
Like the steel.
The stock tanks.
Like the tanks.
Yeah, so what they use for like feeding cattle or watering cattle.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and they're kind of cool looking. They're, kind of retro industrial looking. And so they have those out as well for growing like a number of different things. But they had their tomatoes in one of those, and they had a lot in one container, and they had like fencing up along the sides. And so what they have to do is they have to every couple of weeks cut them back, because you need to keep the tomatoes aerated, right? Or otherwise, they get mildew. And so she's like, here, you can take some of these cuttings and just stick them in, some damp soil, and they should sprout, and then you can have tomatoes. And I'm like, all right, cool. Because I used to just raise them from seed in Pittsburgh. And then they'd reseed every year. But I've never done them from starts from cuttings before. So that's a new adventure. But here's the other thing that's cool is they have a watering system set up.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Because I know that's something you wanted to do too. So.
Well, I did it in Pittsburgh.
I know you did.
I can't really do it here.
You had a great watering system in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Despite living in the
hood.
It did produce some interesting. Well, you were able to get really creative and really put to use some of the ideas that you had that you were sort of constrained from doing in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So
there just wasn't any room.
And then I did.
Or any sun.
Right, exactly. And I was doing my thing too, where I was less constrained in Pittsburgh for the things that I was doing, which is the stuff that, people see on Book of Hours. A lot of it was largely my scripts and my ideas. You and I were working diligently together for a couple of years, but for a while, it was just me. And then I was like, I'm thinking that I'm sort of outgrowing this, and especially now, especially since the Year of the Horse, things have just changed so much. So
well, so I'm putting a lot of my time into the front yard.
You are.
Later this year, when things start getting hot and I don't have the opportunity to really plant anything, because right now is the time to put stuff in the ground. Something else that's interesting that I need to do is we have some, they're called saw palmetto.
Oh, yes.
And it's a native plant here. And
Yeah.
those of you with a background and interest in health, you will know that the saw palmetto is I wanted to bring up the chat. It looks like we have a few chats.
Oh, do we?
Somebody said that they hate figs. And
so sorry.
The volume is good. I love figs.
Thank you for letting me know the volume is good.
Yeah.
See?
We all know it was you. So Julie, they knew that it's you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that you're doing nice stuff. Anyway,
oh, thank you. Who said that?
Bert Johnson, 13.
Hi, Bert. It's been a while since we've heard from Bert. Bert, hi.
So we have saw palmettos just kind of sprouting up like weeds in some parts of our yard. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to transplant those out to that area out there, because the soil is all the same, and this is their native soil. And they're nice looking. They're very slow growing palms, and so they'll look nice in a setting of landscaping. So I'm gonna do that before it starts getting hot as well. Would love to see a walk through your plantings at some point. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Right now, everything's like these little like scrappy looking little plants.
Oh, it's our friend who came and stayed with us.
Oh,
hi.
So
a friend from California.
Yeah, a friend from California. So yeah, they're just like little stars. We bought them. Some of them we bought at Walmart.
Yeah, why not?
at the neighborhood market.
I found some amazing things at Walmart, believe it or not.
I know.
I found heart hemp seeds. Heart hemp seeds. I found
the
tart cherry juice, which I love.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize how much I loved it. I'm like, there's no sugar in this.
It's so good for you.
And it's so good for you. So
coconut milk or coconut water.
Coconut water and pecan milk.
Yeah.
Since we cut out all dairy.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we're not eating too much ice cream anymore. I remember we took our friend from California for ice cream, and ever since then we really haven't had much.
Yeah.
We're not really eating. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. We didn't really have an agenda for today's.
Yeah, today was a jabber day.
It's more like, so it's the end of April, and we know that in May there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Like we're doing a mini vacay in Florida. We're going to touch base with some friends, and there's just a lot of stuff going on.
We're going to go to the beach, even though we live at the beach. So no, it's awesome.
So the question I had to you is, I feel like a lot of people, like our friend who's listening, and our friend in Vermont, and now our new friend here in Biloxi, and you and our neighbor down the street, we're meeting more and more people who are really they have a relationship with the earth. And these are people that they seem to operate on a different frequency. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's funny. The gardeners in the neighborhood are now starting to take notice of what I'm doing, and they're stopping by on their way to wherever they're going.
Mm-hmm.
So a woman who lives around the corner here introduced herself. She was on her way to work, and she says, "Oh, I love what you're doing. What are you planting?" And asked me a few questions about that. And our friend Gary, Philadelphia, guy up the street. He.
So the reason we call him Gary, it's a funny story. Can we just tell them
Sure.
the story?
Yeah.
So another friend came to visit us and stayed with us for a while, and she's from Pittsburgh. So we're going on a walk in the neighborhood, showing her around, and we run across
this guy who lives up the street,
who has this wonderful yard. It's very California in that it's just this overgrown,
kind of haphazard
flowers and trees,
and he's kind of he's
just really
off the cuff kind of guy,
really chill.
Mm-hmm.
And so we introduced ourselves, and we introduced our friend who was visiting us from Pittsburgh, and he said, "Oh, I've been to Philadelphia. My name's Gary. Oh, and I've been to Philadelphia." So ever since then,
we call him Gary.
Philadelphia.
But Gary stopped by.
Because Pittsburgh is not Philadelphia.
No, it is not. And that's probably a good thing. Gary stopped by, and he just kind of pulled over, and he was talking to me, and he was talking about the crepe myrtles in front of his house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a native of the area as well. The most beautiful couple on the internet. Thank you, Sean.
Oh, hi, Sean. It's nice to see you.
But so getting back to your comment about people who are, connected to the earth. Now, gardeners are different than other people, but it's about like getting your hands, in the dirt,
mm-hmm.
and connecting with. Here's the thing: it's a way of thinking. It's a cyclical thinking. It's less linear.
Mm-hmm.
Time can stand still when you're working in the garden, or it can become one of those things where it's like it's mindfulness. It's
right.
it's
right.
like Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen Buddhist, Vietnamese Zen Buddhist monk who is no longer with us, but he wrote many books. He talked about walking meditation and things that were not just about sitting. Like Zen is about meditation. That's what it is. And so he came up with ways of talking about how you can meditate without just sitting. You can be in your environment and be present. And I feel like gardening has that same kind of quality to it.
Yeah.
It also has a quality of like planning ahead. And because you have to see things and think about things 3 months to a year ahead of time. Right.
Right. That's important
Mm-hmm.
to think ahead. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
exactly.
So
I feel like I'm always thinking ahead anyway.
I know.
In life.
But so getting back to the comment, you'd like to see what I've done. I would love to show you what I have done too, but right now it looks like nothing.
Yeah. And there's so much land
that
he's out there for 6 hours, and I'm like, that's it? No, that's
I know. But I said that. It's is that all there is to gardening?
Yeah. So it can get so it's one of those things where you have to accept the fact that you're not going to see
mm-hmm.
a lot of, you're not going to get the feedback that you hope for with all of the work and energy you're putting into gardening. You're not going to see the
mm-hmm.
response to that for a while.
This space out here, I mean, it's like 10 feet deep and about 140 wide. So what's that, about 1,400 square feet?
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a big space.
It's like half the size of the house.
Well, it's the length. It's the length of our yard, which is bigger than the house.
Yeah,
and 10 feet deep. So that's pretty big.
In general, though, I think that people who what do they call it? Like forest bathing.
Oh, really? I've never heard that term.
You've never heard that term?
That's cool.
Yeah. So forest bathing. I think it's where you just wear like really light clothes, and especially on a warm day, and you just go out and let the coolness of the trees on the earth mm-hmm. cool you down.
That's called going in our backyard.
I know, right? But I think even if you're not a gardener, like I'm not really a gardener, but I like to do what I can to get out there into nature.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't been doing it lately, but it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. So even when you just do that and then you come back, you feel kind of, you feel better. You feel emotionally better. You feel more centered, and you realize that, well, I know she might be listening right now. She might be watching, but our friend who came to visit us, who is very much into spending time in nature, is I've been thinking about her behavior a lot, especially when she was with us. When we went to the local cafe that we like to go to here in Biloxi, it's a very quaint, but not quaint, but very like beautifully curated French cafe. It's actually stunning. And I just remember looking at her compared to all the sort of people who know each other here in Biloxi, and they're all just kind of these Southern busybody types. And she walked in, and it was like a different person compared to everybody else. It was like, I think I want to try to be like that. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, people who spend a lot of time in nature have a completely different attitude about life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of meditation, right?
Yeah.
And our yard is just full of birds and trees.
Yeah. I was on the phone with somebody in a meeting the other day, and I had my window open, and she says, "Are those birds?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, "You could hear them
through our windows."
Yeah. And I said, yeah, I've got a lot of trees out back, and it's spring, so the birds. And there's like several mockingbirds that are trying to claim our yard as their territory, so they're out there fighting all the time. Those weird little vignettes that take place. But we've got like 8 or 9, maybe 10 different types of birds that like call this little patch of ground home, like all year round.
Yeah, we really need to protect them.
Yeah.
That's my concern too, is with some of the rules and laws and things that are taking place in Biloxi, and just we have what's Jerry Creel's
development director.
Yeah, the development director of the town. He loves to chop down trees. Like, he loves it.
Yeah,
just for the sake of chopping them down. Just chop away.
Chop away.
He just loves to chop down trees. And so we live under these 8 beautiful live oaks that are their own little private ecosystem with the birds and the turtles and the squirrels. I mean, it would be devastating if this little law that they're thinking of fielding would pass, and then
they're going to make it easier for people to cut the trees down in their yards. But also, it could be that we don't know this yet. We're speculating that might be taking place based on things that have taken place in the recent past. That they would like to make it so that neighbors can have an influence on whether your tree stays in your yard or not. So we'll see about that. But hopefully it doesn't go there. But we're going to do everything in our power to keep these trees intact, like the woman who lived here before us.
Yes. Yeah. So for her, this is a legacy house. We're starting to really fully understand the importance and the meaning of that. Recently, her daughter went and spoke out in front of the city council regarding
a city park. So there's a small.
When I say her daughter, I mean the woman that owned the house before.
Yeah, so
it was only owned by one family before us.
Right. So the girl that grew up here, she married into another family in Biloxi. That family has been here since the 19th century. And that family donated a plot of land back in the 1890s to the city to be used for recreational purposes. And for years, it was a baseball field, and like since 1920, so 100 years, right? And it's been a baseball park. And the city has moved on to another area and made it a bigger, complex for baseball. And so they're like, well, we don't really need this space anymore. We're going to sell it. And it's always been for, the public, right? It's basically, the commons, for lack of a better, for the current context of the world, at least in the United States, it is the commons. And but it was for a specific purpose. It wasn't just for, you can't graze your sheep there, but you can play baseball. And they wanted to sell it. And I don't remember what the outcome was, but the woman who grew up here as a child, she married into the family that donated that land. And she spoke out and in favor of keeping it and not selling it because, the city is this city is undergoing a patch of corruption that I've never seen before. I mean, we lived in San Francisco. Julie lived in Chicago. We've seen corruption in cities, but nothing like this.
Really?
And this is.
I mean, I guess you're more involved. You would pay attention more to it.
Well, I mean, it's just backroom deals and good old boy,
wow. Because our friend who
because I know
all these investigations,
right? I don't pay attention to it much, but he sends me texts.
He texts you personally
all the stuff that's going on.
He doesn't text me. I'm like, I don't want to know.
I'm really like
I'm stressed out enough.
And Julie mentioned the development director here, and he's appointed. He's not voted. He's been in power as long as the mayor's been in power, and the mayor got reelected again. So we've got at least another 4 more beers of that. It's going to take more than 4 beers to deal with that. But anyway,
yeah.
And it's like they're hell bent on not just development, but like crappy development. Like it's one thing to develop the city
for something wonderful.
Yeah, to make it, and have some vision and really bring something into the city. There's a lot of San Francisco. There's a lot of Biloxi in the eastern part of the city that was basically removed by Hurricane Katrina. Now that took place 20 years ago, and it looks like parts of Detroit. I mean, it's just all open, grassy.
That's where
land.
the fig trees should be.
Well, that's where the fig trees should be, and it's broken up by streets and sidewalks, and you can see where houses used to be. But the live oaks are still there, and the magnolia trees are still there. Because they're part of this environment here, right? The houses are all gone, but all the land there all the owners are trying to sell it for high prices, and I think what they're trying to do is wait for casino money to come in and take that land and develop it into something. Because if it wasn't so expensive, I'd probably buy a plot and plant some fig trees.
Probably, yeah.
And avocados and stuff. But so anyway. So there's a lot of areas like that area, and then other parts of like downtown, they're just like open space, and they've remained open for decades. And the development that's going on is in places where it shouldn't be, or what is being developed shouldn't be. It's like, do we need another Chick-fil-A? Do we need another crappy motel? Do we need another, XYZ that really doesn't do much for the community? And I don't even know if it does much for the coffers of the city.
Yeah.
But these assholes are making deals that probably kick back into their back pockets. Of that, I have no doubt, because otherwise these things wouldn't be taking place. Right. And people would have the community would have more of an input. And that's the other thing, is when people do speak up, they either get shunned or shut down or just ignored.
And people that have more, not that we don't have any rights to really speak up, but these are people that have been here for generations,
right,
that are being shut down.
They tend to have more say than the new people.
Yeah, because,
and
it will always be new.
Yeah. But see, here's the other side of that. The irony of that is that this is a community, much like San Francisco, that even though there's established families here, there's a cycle of people that come through because of the Air Force Base that's here in the middle of our town, which is really weird that there's an Air Force Base, but they basically use it for instructional purposes. But they do still fly these huge prop planes around, and they're the fleet known as the Hurricane Hunters, and they go out and they,
it's kind of cool to see these really low flying planes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw a couple the other day. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, they have this kind of sound, not a jet plane, right? They're slow and they have that whirring sound.
And we got Reve every morning at 6 a.m.
Also known as Reveille.
We get taps at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And then what do we get? Do we get something at noon?
At 5, you get the national anthem.
Do you get that every day, or do you get it on Fridays?
Just weekdays.
Oh, every weekday?
Every weekday.
That's weird. I only feel like I hear it on Fridays.
Yeah. Well, so we live a block away from the Air Force Base, and all this music, all this martial music, comes across their loudspeakers throughout the entire base. And those who have maybe seen Biloxi Blues, the movie, it allegedly takes place here. Nobody here acknowledges it because the movie really doesn't really talk about here.
No.
It's just, and back then it was an army base.
Right.
In World War II, it was an army base.
Right.
And
the movie was based, it was set in World War II, but it was made in like the 80s.
Yeah,
I think.
right, exactly. Yeah. But anyway, so it's an Air Force base now. They do training here. And it's as much a part of the community as anything else. And so there are a lot of people that come through here. They end up retiring. They didn't grow up here. Their families aren't like established here. And yet the only people that seem to be able to get things done are those who are corrupt and, and have like lived here for generations. I mean, because the reason I say that is because there's people here who've lived here for generations who can't seem to get things done because they get ignored or shunned. And there's this, pecking order and hierarchy that goes on to where it's like, you know what, I really don't have the political capital to give to stand up for myself. Right. And I think that's what's going on. Yeah. Because the backlash against going up against the establishment that's ruling our town tends to be kind of high. And, people see each other at church. There's a lot of Catholics here. So there's a lot of Catholic churches. People see each other at church. People see each other in the commerce, the cafes and restaurants and just around town. I used to think it was, really cool. Seeing the mayor, walking around at cool. Events. It's still cool. We used to joke about how, we still do, I guess, how this living here feels like a Hallmark holiday special where we'll go to, like special events and you walk around and it's like, oh, there's Joe, the owner of the such and such.
What was
there's the mayor and there's,
or your cardiologist.
We went to 2 consecutive events in 1 week that were Christmas holiday oriented, and Julie had just seen her cardiologist, and we ran into him and his family in both events. It was like, oh hey, we're old friends. It was really weird.
Yeah, he's like reaching in for a hug, and then he's like, oh wait, sorry.
Oh right, I have a professional relationship with you.
Yeah. So if people are curious why I have a cardiologist all of a sudden, is because one of the things that was discovered last year was it Year of the Snake?
Yeah, it was in October.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah.
I know. I have a tumor in my heart, apparently.
So folks, it's benign. Okay, so
we hope. But they couldn't do a biopsy.
They couldn't do a biopsy,
I'm
but
sure
they were looking at it though in an MRI.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a normal type of thing, but it's still a growth and it could cause problems. Yeah. Just because of size.
Yeah. What's really strange is, so there's this, occasionally I'm on Twitter, right? As I mentioned, sometimes in my audio broadcasts. And there's this person who out of nowhere was like, I wish I could find somebody like this. And it was a scene of Marissa Tomei, sort of like kissing and holding Christian Slater. Mm-hmm. Ironically, Christian Slater, who
was in a movie we watched last night.
Was in a movie we watched last night from the 90s. And so I I responded to the person and I said, oh, well, that's Untamed Heart. And you don't want to know the end.
So yeah, enjoy that scene.
Enjoy that scene.
Yeah.
That's like the second time now that just randomly on the internet, 2 movies that have to do where the main character has a heart problem is like coming across my feed. And the second movie is Return to Me. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've been noticing some weird activity on like YouTube and other
Well,
media places where we'll be talking about something and then videos
or
about
thinking
that,
about
or just
something.
thinking about something
Just
without
thinking
without
about
saying
it.
without saying it out loud, just thinking about it. It comes
And
up. Comes up on the feed.
I try to rationalize this. There's
Well,
it's
I mean,
no conspiracy. There's no specter. There's
no,
it's
it's the algorithms and the AI that allows for quick response to, discussions or content that you might put out on the internet. But the creepy thing and the weird thing is when you think about it and it shows up.
That's true.
And Google AI Gemini didn't want to admit that they're reading your mind. Is AI reading my mind?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, I know Facebook was trying to do that. We're not on Facebook anymore. We're not anywhere near Meta, and they set out to read people's minds so that they could but it could be that Amazon has bought that technology.
Yeah.
And but we don't have any Amazon products in the. Oh, we do. Shit.
Do we? What is
well,
it?
We've got the Eero Wi-Fi.
Oh, right.
But that's not the same thing as
right.
As what's that product?
Right. The one we did a video about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember. Amazon Sidewalk?
Well,
was it Amazon Sidewalk?
That was the name of the video. I think.
Is it Ring? No, it's not
Ring.
Ring.
It's the one that plays music for you or does things for you.
Yeah.
All of you out there know what we're talking about. We're not thinking of the name because we don't have it around.
Oh, it plays music for you?
Yeah.
Spotify?
No, it will pull music from Spotify.
Oh.
You remember in the video it said, "Oh, it's always listening." Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. It's similar to the Apple product that's spelled SIRI.
Yeah, you can't say it out loud.
I don't like to say it out loud.
Or else it'll be like, remember when we were at your aunt's place? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Right after we got married, this was like December of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you were being mean to me. And it said, JP, stop that. I'm not kidding. I am not lying. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
No, I put my hand up like, I swear to God. Like you can't see my hand on. There we go. I swear to God. It was like,
well, then
JP, stop that.
Then there was another time we were sitting around and everything was really quiet except we were talking about the Wizard of Oz or the Wicked movie, the first Wicked movie.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
And they were talking about coming out with another one, or I forget what it was. Anyway, we were talking about Wicked. And I said, yeah, well, they're probably going to take that story and really politicize it and make it all DEI and like that. And all of a sudden my phone says, and it was SIRI's voice, and it said, "Uh-huh."
It was so weird. Yeah.
Oh my God! So yeah,
you were really creeped out by that.
I was, yeah. And I said, "F you, CIA." Right. And it stopped talking at that point, because
perhaps what we should do is take control of it.
Yeah. Well, I have mine set so that the only time that SIRI can respond to me is when I'm logged into my phone. So if I say its name and my phone is in the off, the black screen, and I haven't, punched in my numbers, it won't respond to me, which is a good thing. But it's it's kind of a pain in the butt when when I'm in the car and I want to text Julie and it's not on, I have to log in. So that's the only problem. And I'm not one who messes with my phone much, so I do not like to, set up my phone so it's ready to go in the car and then take it off. And I even have trouble turning my data on and turning it off.
I know.
I don't like configuring things to I want my life to be just itself, not a life of configuring tools to allow me to do things that I don't really need to do in the first place.
Technology really hasn't made our lives easier. It's in some ways it's made it more interesting and more fun, but in other ways it's made it more challenging for sure.
Yeah.
You know, especially for our generation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Born in the 70s, we would like to be able to just live freely, right?
We want to be free, not get hassled by the man, and free to ride our machines and get loaded. Yeah.
What's that from?
it's some movie. God, what is it from?
Was it Repo Man?
No, it was from the 50s, or it was from the early 60s.
Easy Rider?
No, it was pre-Easy Rider.
Pre-Easy Rider.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the same dude was in it.
Okay.
What's his name? Fonda.
Peter Fonda.
Peter Fonda, I think, was in it, and it was like this motorcycle gang movie. Anyway.
So you asked me when we first went on live. You said, "How are you doing?"
How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
Strange.
Pretty good.
Well, remember, like the other
Pretty
day,
good.
you were having a full-on conversation with me, and I was in a completely different world.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That's what's going on with me. I'm like,
Are you a little spaced out right now?
I'm always spaced out.
Well, I mean,
You know
but like
that.
even more so.
Like
I mean,
right now, this very minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little. I mean,
Is it because you're deep in thought with other things, like 5 other things, or
at
is it
least
because,
one.
or is this because you're in your own bliss?
In my own bliss. Yeah.
Neither of us have ever
Yes.
experienced being in our own bliss for very long. It may be a few seconds at a time.
Yes to all of that.
Mhm.
So yeah. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm I hate to keep using movie references, but in the movie where Minnie Driver has a heart condition, she is at the Lincoln Park Zoo, which is a zoo in the middle of Chicago. I like this movie because it's based in Chicago, and it's like my second favorite city in the United States. Right?
Yeah, I like Chicago a lot too. Yeah.
So she's like in the middle of the zoo, and her cousin, who's played by Bonnie Hunt, is wrangling like 14 kids, and just
Right.
a total spaz. And David Duchovny walks by Minnie Driver. Is that her name, Minnie Driver? I think that's her name. She's like that English actress.
Yeah.
Anyway, they don't know each other, but his late wife her heart is in Minnie Driver,
right. Okay.
because she had to have a heart transplant. And so he walks by, and her heart does a little thing, and she goes, "Oh, remember when I was doing that? Remember?" And you'd be like, "Are you okay?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I think so." So she did that, and the cousin is like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, didn't hurt." She's like holding her heart, right? So
Is that where you are?
yeah, it doesn't hurt, but there's something going on. It doesn't hurt. It's just weird. It's just different. Obviously going through a lot of changes.
We're both going through a lot of changes lately for some reason. Well, I know why. I'll tell you why. I've been my head has been in my high school years, which were a very long time ago. And I think what it is it's like this area that we moved to reminds me of where I grew up in Southern California, but not only where, but when. So like this place feels like Southern California in the 70s. Because it's not as many people here as in Southern California. It's got the same laid back quality. It's near the water. And we're living in a small town, but the small town soon and quickly turns into suburbs. And these are suburbs that have been around since the early 60s. And so it has some of the same kind of structures, the same kind of shitty strip malls, the same kind of, roads. And so it just takes me back to that time and place. And then just, in general, being, of a certain age, you do kind of reflect on, parts of your life. And lately it's been that time. And I think it's probably because, new interest or newly re-energized interests have come back. And so
interest in music and
yeah,
gardening.
and making music and making art and doing the garden, and because I've always been a gardener. I was, in different forms. Even when I was a kid, I wouldn't be out there, planting things, but by default and by necessity, I had to help out. We had an apricot tree in our backyard. Where I grew up, and every other year there was a bumper crop, and it would just like explode with apricots, and it would always be like a certain period of the summer. And my job was to basically shovel the compost that gathered below the tree, and it was just fruit flies, and it stunk because it was like it was rotting fruit. And then my dad didn't really compost. He had me bury it, which is probably just the same. But, it was just kind of.
Are we going to get another composter, you think?
I would like to.
Yeah, we should. But something better than the one we had before.
I had one
with a crank.
Well, we had one with a crank. I want one that sits on the ground.
Oh, okay.
And like the one I had in San Francisco.
We had a crank? I thought it was one that you had to like pull.
Well, it opened up, but yeah, I'd pull it, but it didn't have a crank. I had to pull it, but
it was a spinning.
It still spun, but
you had to pull it.
Yeah. The problem with those is the problem I had with that particular model or that type of composter, and you've probably seen them around in yards or at the stores.
They look like robots.
Well, they're like a big drum, and you put the stuff in and then you spin it. The problem with that is that it was too hot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and can you imagine here?
And it was too dry.
Where it gets really hot sometimes.
And then I was making the mistake of putting coffee grounds in there.
Oh, yeah.
And so nothing could, I couldn't put worms in there and expect them to survive because it was just too acidic.
Right.
And so I stopped doing that. But, even then, it just would never be enough time from spring to summer for anything to really evolve into really serious compost before the cold weather would come again. And I'd have to, dig out all the what was left of the compost and either bury it or something, because all I'd get is because otherwise it would get really heavy and frozen and break the damn thing. The composter I had in San Francisco looked like a tank and like a.
Is this at Hayes?
Yeah.
Okay, because I never saw that.
You never saw that, and it was directly on the ground. And so worms could get up into it.
Ooh, neat.
And,
I like that idea.
And other critters got into it as well. And that was good because they break down everything.
Yes, they
right?
do. Yeah.
So I had, beetles and ants and spiders and worms and, everything else that would do that. Sometimes some slugs would get in there, And that was fine because it, and then so I'd put stuff on the top and I'd stir it up. And then, after a few months, it would be at the bottom. I'd pull it out and I'd get really nice soil to work with. So, and we have so many leaves here and they're kind of acidic. I think that it would be good for us to even have just an open chicken wire type of composter, which is really the most basic, but I wouldn't put any food in there. I wouldn't put any food scraps. Do you think
our neighbors would not like the look of it?
They would not like that because they'll accuse us of bringing rats into the area. And
I don't think our neighbors here would say that. I think that they would say it would just look unsightly.
Well, they probably wouldn't be able to see it. But
that's good.
When one of our
Pittsburgh,
when one of the guys here did our yard, he collected all the leaves up with an attachment to his mower, and he it was basically like this thing that he dragged behind his riding mower. And he collected up all the leaves. We get a lot of leaves, by the way.
8 live oak trees.
So there's right now there's 2 inches of leaves in one part of our yard that I just haven't had a chance to get up yet. But he collected them all and he put them in a big pile in the backyard. And our one neighbor complained. He's like, "That's going to bring rats." And I'm like, "It's not going to bring rats."
Who said that? Oh, okay.
Over here.
Okay.
And it's not going to bring rats because rats aren't interested in a pile of leaves. Okay. Second of all, I don't see rats around this neighborhood.
Yeah, there are no rodents here at all.
No, because we have all these feral cats that live in the neighborhood.
Do we have a lot of feral cats?
We do.
I feel like we had more feral cats in Pittsburgh.
You would see them more, but there's at least a dozen that live in this little area here.
I guess because it's so spread out.
Yeah.
I mean, so spread out.
Yeah, whereas in Pittsburgh, we
everybody's
saw them
on top of each other.
Yeah,
it was very urban.
Right, it was very urban. And this is more of a spread out kind of neighborhood that was developed in the late 40s, early 50s. So it's a little more Leave It to Beaver, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
Leave
had
It to
that.
Beaver. Showing your age there.
Right. Well, then we had the back alley there, which is where Roxy came from. And so you'd see the cast of cats in our backyard all the time.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
Here, you know, other people feed them, and that's fine with me. But there's at least a dozen feral cats around.
Yeah, there is.
You know, so there's not a lot of rodents as a result.
I guess. I don't want to say yeah, there is, because I've actually never seen it. I've only seen like maybe.
There are actually 8.
There are 8. How do you know this?
No, I didn't. I don't know if there's actually 8, but there's maybe not a dozen. But yeah, there's.
That's
but I
crazy
watched
that
them
you
so
know
because there's one dude up the street here.
Yeah,
that
he feeds them.
He feeds them, and I can see when he does it in the morning before he walks to work.
You're like out there with your binoculars.
I don't even have to have my binoculars. I just sit at my kitchen table. I sit at my dining room table and look out the window.
We live in a fishbowl. Right?
We do live in a fishbowl, yeah.
We have a lot of windows, which is good. Because you want a lot of windows.
When you have a lot of trees.
Yeah.
So wow, we're giving you so many intimate details about our life.
What else?
And nobody's commenting, I've noticed, because it's like
boring. That's okay.
It's like,
boring is good.
Boring is good. Let's see how many people. Oh yeah, well we do have a few viewers. So before we did this broadcast, we were like, well, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. There's not really much going on that we are really invested in right now.
There's stuff going on personally.
Lots of personal stuff, and I don't feel like the world, the global events right now are all that worth talking about, because I feel like they're either contrived or ersatz or just they're not real, and
because
it's all propaganda driven.
What is it that our friend Zeg made us?
Oh,
nothing is real. Everything is possible.
Right.
Nothing is real. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So we have a little.
Thanks for that. It's actually in our music room.
Yeah.
On the shelf.
In our music room, everything is possible.
Oh yes. So individuation.
Can I interest you in individuation?
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying individuation.
Are you?
Yeah.
How about your other thing, the I couldn't remember it last night either. What's the name of it when you're differentiation? The differentiation.
Yeah, it's definitely. I feel like differentiation is also like a reframe. Is that? Would you say that that's kind of like a reframe?
Yeah, I think it's how you see yourself in the context that you used to put yourself in, that where you weren't as prominent. So it is a reframe in a way.
I wasn't as prominent.
Oneself. I mean, like not you, but like like you and your you and your situation. Why you and your situation? Okay. Anyway, yeah. So yeah. But like, how are you digging the horse? Because we have a horse in the backyard too.
Yes.
No, we don't. It's the year of the.
I love the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horse has been good to me.
Julie bought this little tiny.
I know.
Teeny tiny. It's like
horse.
The tiniest little horse.
I bought it before. Okay, so I bought it in Year of the Snake, not really thinking too much about it. It was way on sale, and it was. It
was a pre-sale thing, right?
It was like a pre-sale thing.
But you knew the Year of the Horse was coming.
I knew it was coming because I've been talking about Year of the Horse since like June of 2025. I'm like, come on, hurry up. Because I was over it. But yeah, so I bought this little tiny horse. Sort of like my little talisman, I guess.
It is, I swear to God, it is
so tiny.
It's about 3/8 of an inch wide from snout to tail.
And I totally forgot that I had ordered it.
It's like
that I did the pre-order for it. It didn't come until what, just like a month ago or something.
Right, and we both
Like
expected
sometime
it
in March,
to
I
look bigger,
think.
even though you saw it compared to like.
I'm glad it's kind of small though, kind
Yeah.
of subtle.
Yeah, but we both expected it to be bigger. Anyway,
A little bit bigger, but
but
no, I like
it's
it.
very subtle. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I totally forgot about it, and then bunch of stuff happened and I got a notification. Guess what? It's in and it's on its way. And I was like, oh shit. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. This is coming. Cool. So
yeah. So we can't have real horses, but you can have that.
And then there's all this like horse stuff that's going on the internet. Like the one video that I saw of the 2 horses that would not pass the bunny rabbit.
Right. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I almost thought about like bringing in the video and showing it, but
yeah,
it's these horses were like on this dirt path, and there was this little it was just like a little jackrabbit. Yeah, just a little jackrabbit, and it was just sitting there, and the horses were like, oh, and they just kept like going around.
One got behind the other one and kind of shoved it forward,
and then the other one was like, oh hell no, I'm not going near that rabbit.
And they both turned around and left.
And so the narrative around it was that the horses were afraid of the rabbit, and it's funny that you're a rabbit.
I know,
right? So, and I don't think that the horses were afraid of the rabbit. I think that the horses were like, they didn't want to hurt the rabbit. Horses are like incredibly emotional animals.
I know they are.
And they're super sensitive. And I think they were just like, oh, look at the little bunny. We don't want to hurt it.
That bunny has fangs and teeth and gnashing
I know.
teeth.
So that was the
Monty Python
the
joke,
Monty
right?
Python joking that was going on in the background. But I think the reality of it is that, horses won't step on a snail. I mean, they are so gentle and compassionate, and sensitive. Anyway, so I think they just were like really worried that their giant bodies were going to crush the little tiny bunny rabbit. And they got scared. That's what I think.
That's what you think. I think they were scared.
You think they were scared of the little bunny rabbit?
Yeah, they were pretty nervous about it. I mean, the way their body language was like, oh, I'm not going close to that.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Well, I guess it's like whenever I see a mouse or a rodent, I just like, I hate it. Yeah.
Well, we were at the Petco the other day, and there was a whole aquarium tank that was empty of water. It was dry. That was filled with mice, either for pets or for snake.
Probably
food.
For feeding your snakes.
Snake food. And I told her that we were looking around for cat treats, and I said, well, there's a whole tank of them over there.
No.
Yeah. Well, Roxy, when she could see, in our Pittsburgh house, around the Pittsburgh house, that was her hobby, was catching mice. She was very good at it.
Gift them.
She gifted them to us, or she just come
in and play with them.
She tried doing that once.
Well, they were still alive.
There you are. Oh, there she's been hiding all afternoon. And
don't pick her up.
Do you want me to pick?
No,
I'm not going to pick her. I'm not going to pick her.
She doesn't like to be held.
She hates it. I'd basically get all scratched up. And
she is very cute. You saw the intro.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like this little stuffed animal. And when little girls see her, they just, oh my goodness, kitty cat. They love her,
mm-hmm.
but she hates to be touched. And she hates to be held. I mean, she likes to be petted.
Right.
But
she'd leave mouse heads around for me. That was always good. She's like, well, I left you the best part.
Yeah.
What?
Thanks. You're supposed to thank the animal too when they bring it. Yeah. Bring you
She's
something.
not so much a birder, but she was good at getting mice. Now
That's
she doesn't do much
I
of
like
anything.
the birds.
Yeah.
So what else? There's just all these like random horse videos that are coming up. It's because it's Year of the Horse,
Mm-hmm.
Just feeling more creative about stuff, not feeling really interested in dissecting, the world anymore.
Speaking of creative, Julia's been posting poems on Tuesday, right? Tuesdays?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a new thing on our Substack. We're really promoting the Substack area now, less the YouTube, simply because we just don't have the energy or the interest in producing the videos like we were for a while there.
The video essays and stuff.
The video essays, they're very time consuming and very emotionally draining. So we're not doing that as much. What we've been focusing on is other creative endeavors that have the same interest for us, hopefully the same impact, but they have a different point of view and a different reason for being. And so I think that the poetry is really interesting. You've been posting your interest in different kinds of music and movies now.
Yep.
Any other writing things you want to discuss that you are working on?
There's a story that I started in 2010 that I want to incorporate into a new story that I'm thinking of starting. It's hard. I'm definitely going through a lot right now. Just the whole dysfunctional family system thing has, I think, created a creative block in that sense. But at the same time, there's new flow coming in. There's new creative energy coming from somewhere. And so I think it's just going to continue to come. And I think I've pretty much differentiated from the dysfunctional family situation. I'm ultimately orphaned, like we've talked about.
You've orphaned yourself.
Well, I think if I was going to be very honest, they orphaned me. And I was just convincing myself that, and you've helped me with this, you've helped me to establish that it was actually their orphaning of me that sort of helped the decision to protect myself from the delusions, the delusional spaces of family. So I've gone, no contact. I have discovered the 2 siblings, which I didn't know I had. So I introduced myself to them, and I was hoping
more of a relationship would develop there.
And it didn't. And that's okay too, because I'm seeing it from their perspective and they're probably like, holy shit. And of course, the thing that they identify with me is our shared father. And even though I never knew him, I feel like I have more of a connection with him than they do. And
weird.
They knew him and grew up with him.
Weird.
And I never knew him. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Remember I was trying to tell you that all of the best parts of him seem to be coming out in me. And they only have a tactile relationship with the worst parts of him. So here I come. I look like him. I have the same love of music and creativity. His sensitivity runs through me. So all of this is triggering them somehow. And I think it just, it probably just scared them. Not like I did anything. Like, no. I don't want to be yours. Nothing like that.
I'm coming to visit. Hey.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. I was just like, I'm here. I exist.
Yeah.
Here's a few things about me. That's it.
Tell me about this this entity, this Greek goddess entity, or do you want to talk about what you told me this morning? Yeah.
Hecate.
Yeah.
So when I was just reading about it this morning, and I was kind of fascinated. I'm not like a witchy person. I don't try to be anyway.
Yeah. I don't try.
I seriously do everything in the world to resist it. So
maybe that's the problem.
Let's give the Chelsea story.
Okay.
About Angel and Cain.
Okay.
Cain and Angel.
Okay, so we're going back to the woman who sells us eggs and who Oh, I'll have to finish my story about the fig tree, but first,
Yeah.
but first.
Well, here's just an example of.
So you want to tell the story?
Yeah. So she has this gorgeous Australian Shepherd named Angel.
Very sweet too.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
And
dog.
Angel will like put her arms around me. Like she'll get up on her hind legs and put her arms on my shoulders. Wherever I am, like she'll like get really, really close.
Right.
One time I was, doing what dogs like, which is petting them and playing with their ears.
Right.
And she was just like, yeah, she was, and smiling. And so the last couple of times that we were there, we had this great bond with Angel. And then the last time, before the time that we were here, so we were there like a week ago. So 2 weeks prior to that, we were over there. And she said, I really need to get a male Australian Shepherd for Angel who is not altered, not fixed, because I really want to breed her. And Chelsea was like, it's impossible to find one, especially one that would produce.
That hasn't been neutered.
Hasn't been neutered yet. Hasn't, and also she wanted him to look good. Like she wanted him to be like a stunning Australian Shepherd because Angel is stunning.
Right.
And so, and she was just like, and I was thinking to myself, like I saw, I may not have said this to you, but I saw the dog in my.
Wow. You didn't tell me that.
In my heart, soul, head, whatever. She texted us, was it the very next day?
Within the week, within a few days, yes.
Yeah. So what she did is she said, she texted us a few days later. She says, by the way, the day after you guys left, somebody said that there was an Australian Shepherd, a male, that was just wandering around. So we went and looked at him and went and got him, and they got him, and he's gorgeous,
Yeah.
And we met him. So
yeah, he's very cool. He's a little more wild because he hasn't been socialized as well as Angel has been, but he still fits into their family really well. But it was just the circumstance around, this intention was put out there, and we're there, and she's telling us this, well, Julie, and this intention manifests, right?
Yeah, and this kind of stuff happens.
It happens a lot
to me.
Yeah,
with us.
Yeah.
You seem to have an, not that you have an interest, but you did bring it up. So I will. Yeah, I was researching.
Well, because I thought it was really fascinating. You brought it up this morning, and I'd never heard of this entity, but like her background and what she represents in Greek mythology and so forth was really pretty pertinent for our time and like place where we are, and anyway.
Ancient Greek goddess of magic, witchcraft, the night, moon, ghosts, and necromancy. What? Well, I mean, I've been thinking a lot about death. I don't know. I think about it all the time, right? So
the Greeks were different than our current civilization, I think.
So it's just there. I can't even it often comes about when women go no contact with their family, I guess.
Well, she's like represents women who have who've left their family or who have no family.
Yeah. It's weird to talk about in a format where we have traditionally been sort of on point. So now there's this, because of this whole individuation and differentiation process, I am like a little lamb trying to figure out how to find my legs. And what does this mean for me?
Your little horse wobbling around on your
That's
spindly
right.
legs.
I know, that's how I feel. And because one of the things that I think is important is that when people do feel that they have, the answers to all life in the universe and their particular situation, like a flood of understanding now has hit me regarding my dysfunctional family system, and I totally get it. Like, I nailed it, but that doesn't mean that I'm this all-knowing, all-seeing person. Like, I realize that there is now this brand new world that I'm kind of padding around in the dark trying to figure out. So I'm like, what does it mean to go no contact with the family? And all of a sudden the response I get is Hecate. I'm like, who the what the heck? Who the what the?
The who?
What does that mean? So
Yeah.
And so I started researching. She was the what did they say? She was the witness
to
Persephone.
Yeah,
Right.
being taken to Hades, and then she was her companion.
Right, exactly.
And she also was of the early gods, right? So she was of the Titans, but she broke with them and helped Zeus during that whole kerfuffle.
Okay. Do you think that because you were mentioning Purim?
No, that was another thing that was going on, because we've been hearing about this story over and over again about.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but I don't know if I really want to go into
No,
that.
we don't.
But,
yeah, but do you think that because it's around the corner that more interesting things will be happening?
Maybe I was going to bring up, because you were bringing up her, the kind of witchiness or whatever. We are coming up on May Day, which is well known as a lefty day, but it's also Beltane, which is a Celtic holiday, and it's basically that passcodes. It's
Sorry.
Beltane. Beltane. I know, technology.
So funny.
And so basically it is that day between the equinox, the vernal equinox, and the first day of summer. So you have these halfway points that are also celebrated as, like, I don't like using pagan, but that sort of traditional society sort of celebrations or acknowledgments of seasonal days that are specific. So it is the midpoint between spring and summer, and so it holds some meaning, so much so that it's like in England there's the in all of Europe there's the maypole dancing. And that comes out of Beltane, right? Or
right.
that day.
Right.
And so, and I'm sure that may not have anything to do with Hecate. What is it? Hecate.
I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. But, when we're getting into that realm, it's but also, thinking about like Persephone, right? So her story was that she spent some time on Earth and some time in Hades. And I think it had to do with, the seasons. Like, so during winter, I don't know if this is correct or not, but that just seems to be what I'm remembering. That she was Hecate. Hecka.
See, I was right.
Yeah, it's hecka cool. That's a Bay Area joke. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay. So,
but no, listen to what this is why I mentioned it to you earlier today. So the idea that women who go no contact are Hecate suggests that a woman going no contact after a breakup or some kind of disconnect with a
family
is embodying the energy of the Greek goddess Hecate, powerful, transforming, and standing in her own power at a crossroads in life. So this is definitely where I am, at the crossroads. And then, of course, going further into it, they talk about, the wild woman rising. The viewpoint suggests that a woman having broken free from chains is reclaiming her primal, sacred, and independent energy.
None of that, Julie.
I know, right?
No independent energy for you.
So often seen as a guardian of transitions, guiding individuals through the unknown and at the crossroads. A woman in no contact is, in this light, navigating the crossroads between what was and what will be, often to become a creator and destroyer of her old life.
Wow. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah. So this perspective frames the decision as a bold, fierce, and deliberate stand that is both tender yet unbreakable. So the family system kept me from my father, right? And so now there is a break from that system. So, Greek mythology is a great tool, right?
Yeah.
And also there are some biblical passages, which we're familiar with, that are also great tools to help guide us and help inform us about where we are right now in
Society,
our passage.
Behavior, whatever.
Right. So, and then through all of this is, this diagnosis with a heart tumor, this flood of creativity, this really strong, deep need to protect these trees, our trees. That's why I'm always like kind of on you about it every day. Like, we really can't keep putting this off. We have a plan, right? So, and our plan is a really good one.
Yeah. But we just have to put it in action. But right now there's a lot of chainsaws in the air. They have been.
There are.
Yeah. Speaking of trees and.
So.
No, I'm making a juggling reference.
Yeah. So I think that it's really hard to articulate, but I get it. But there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to explore.
It's like old territory, but it's new territory. And it's
I'm glad that, that it's you that is helping to have me experience this, because I think that if there was any other husband, I think that it would be really, really treacherous, but you're very, I don't know, you're just, you're embracing the change.
Thank you.
Right. And you're not threatened by it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You're not threatened by the change, because I am not the same person I was even a year ago, let alone when we first met, or got married. So,
wow.
Yeah. No, not at all.
Yeah.
And you know this.
Yeah. Well, we're both experiencing changes. So I think we're doing it together, but we're also in our own path. And so, how could I not support that,
Yeah, of course.
I think I want to wrap this up. We're coming up on the 90-minute mark, which is hard to believe. We've been just jabbering for 90 minutes.
Well,
and thank you for staying with us. But I wanted to wrap this up with the fig tree story.
Okay.
So we talked about figs in Biloxi. And we talked about the woman who sells us chickens and who now has 2 dogs that she's going to breed. So she's being set up for some serious.
She's going to give us one.
Probably,
right?
Yeah. But
she's
I know, right? She has some entrepreneurial things coming to her, and I don't know what she's done to get herself to that place. But I'm not questioning. I'm not jealous. I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
And it's all natural, and has a family, and she's just a vibrant person.
She's young enough to be probably my daughter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And most definitely to be yours.
Mine. Yeah. Yeah.
She's incredibly vibrant. very beautiful, of course.
Yeah.
And
she has her own business. That's the main thing, right? Anyway, so after I told her about the fig tree, I'm like, by the way, and I said earlier, by the way, you're going to need to move that, and soon.
Yeah.
Because she had just planted it and it hadn't really set its roots down yet. And, they dig in. So, she would not have been able to move it easily.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right?
You have to move it when it's still
And
little.
I said, she's like, well, can I like put it over there? And I'm like, no. Can I put it over there? No. I said, do you want to have shade? She said, yes.
Then
I do want to have shade. I said, okay, this green patch of ground here in the middle of your yard, right here in the middle,
shade.
put it here.
Yeah.
Put it right here.
And
she did.
Did she send us pictures yet?
She did.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And she basically, I said, it's going to spread out a lot. And it's going to require a lot of space. But if you do that, you are going to get fruit and you're going to get the shade that you desire. And I also gave her a link to a used bookstore that sells a book that I use for my own gardening. I don't have it handy, but it's the Sunset Book of Western Gardening.
My mom had that book too.
Yeah,
the Sunset books are great.
Sunset books are great. Yeah. Now, for those of you who are not from California, Sunset is a publishing company, and they're most famous for their magazine on house and gardening, but with a very Western. California coast, or even Arizona, and the full West Coast gamut focus, right? So that's what they focus on. But I also, as a young person, a young adult, meaning somebody in my late teens, early 20s, and then coming of age, going to the hardware store and seeing a rack of Sunset books that were all do-it-yourself kind of instructional books. So how to build shelves and how to lay. I still have the how to lay paving stones and how to put introduce like rock gardens and stone into your garden type book, and maybe some other things. And they always looked like they were from another time and place. Like especially the shelving one looked like it was written in the late 50s, early 60s. Because the photo examples were really dated, but I also really enjoyed the mid-century kind of approach to it. So these things were dated, but they were also like really cool, and they also told you how to do things. So we both had Sunset around us. Anyway, so I told her to get this because I said, even though its focus is California, it has plants that you can grow here and in other parts of the country as well. So it's applicable to where we are here, and it will instruct you on what you need to do to move your tree, what you need to do to feed it and take care of it for the coming years. And so I sent her that, but I also then I scanned a page of that section on fig trees and texted it to her.
Good.
So
yeah. And I think she has a lot of respect for you. I just think she likes me.
Yeah, she
just likes me, but I think she has more respect for you because the way she was like, what do I do here? And how do I do this? And I want to do this and I want to do that. She's looking for leadership and you're advice, and advice, and you're very good at that. Yeah. And so that's good that you can be there for her and do that for her.
And she's there with eggs for us.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
And hopefully soon figs.
Yeah, so. I know. So I like Turkish figs. Is that the striped ones that we used to get in California?
Yeah. So we'd get the turkey figs.
Turkey figs,
yes.
Are they turkey or Turkish?
Turkey
figs.
And I don't know if they refer to the place or the bird, but anyway.
Probably the place.
But and then we could get those green ones and those bright green ones, and we could get a couple other kind. And one of the there's a produce market that's in Mobile, Alabama that we go to once a month. It's like an hour away. It's kind of hard to get to, but they really have very good produce. And during the summer and into the autumn, they have fresh figs. So we get them now and then. You got to be careful when you buy them because you
got to eat them fast.
Yeah, if they're not quite ripe, you got to let them ripen, and then you got to eat them fast because they go
figs
fast.
Figs are very
they're figgy.
They're very.
But they're a pleasure. And they always spelled out autumn in the Bay Area for me,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, so it'll be nice to have that, in the future.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to?
No,
No?
I'm still processing a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we definitely wanted to, check in with everybody. It's been a while, and or as they say, it's been a minute, and just
We're
check
very
in, say hi,
grateful.
and very grateful. Yeah. So we're practicing the gratitude, but we didn't really know what to talk about, so we just wanted to check in and just
I don't want to keep recycling the same shit that everyone else talks about all the time.
Right.
We already know what's going on with AI technology, Palantir, Sam Altman. Oh my God, just the mess that is our administration, the people that are being appointed in areas. For instance, Erica Kirk was recently appointed as something. Yeah, I know you don't even know, so it's like,
oh man,
yeah. So it
looked like she was running for president the other day.
Well, that's just it. It's inching closer to that, and it's if that's the case,
we're getting closer and closer to fascism as we,
Yeah, if that's the case, then we can't live here. We can, we can't live here.
Well, we'll see about that. But
anyway, on that
note.
So it's yeah. So rather than go there after not hearing from us for 4 months together on a broadcast like this, we thought we would just talk about gardening and individuation,
where we are right now, because you haven't heard from us for a while. So
a lot's happened. A lot's continuing to happen. A lot is being discovered. Still lots to learn. Definitely not in a place of like where I think I'm a know-it-all about this. Definitely changed, right?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Okay, well, I think some pollen is coming in through the windows, so it's time for me to sign off. Excuse me.
Sorry.
So we'll see you next time, and take care. We'll see you again.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
You can help us continue our work by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Book of Hours, or leave us a one-time donation at paypal.me/Book of Hours. Or you can use Cash App. Thank you.